Okay, so I made myself a little list so I won't forget what happened this last week. In last week's video, I talked about how the forecast was for weather as low as into the teens Fahrenheit. So I was hurrying up, getting everything ready out in the garden so that my leeks and my carrots and stuff wouldn't freeze. Well, it turns out that it didn't get that cold. I mean, it still got to, well, I don't know, I think the lowest was 25 degrees Fahrenheit. And it even stayed in the 20s during the day too. So like it froze good, but not as cold as they said. And I didn't really expect that because we usually don't get those kind of temperatures until like January, right? It usually doesn't get that cold here, especially in the beginning of November. Yes. And so then, it wasn't cold, but we did have a pretty big windstorm. And after all that trouble I went to of putting the polylow tunnel over my leeks and stuffing leaves in there and everything, it just like blew off. So I tried to save my leeks by tucking some leaves around them. And then the cover just blew off of them. They still look okay. So I'm just gonna try and tuck a few more rocks on this plastic and see if I can pin it down. It completely lifted up this huge rock. This really heavy rock that I had pinned down and just threw it on the bed. That's crazy. Okay, so we'll see how this works. I just threw rocks on the top of the edges of the plastic, and we'll just see how that does. And so then it snowed, but only just a little tiny bit, and then it started raining and it just kind of rained it off. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. So anyway, what I did this week was mostly inside things because I've got a lot of everything done out in the garden. I had a friend of mine who kind of kicked me in the butt, tried to get me in gear because the Southeast Alaska Farmers Summit, which has been postponed like 2 years in a row because of COVID, is now being rescheduled again for this February, and registration is open. And she was like, we got to get a place to stay. Where are we going to stay? And it's like really, it's really expensive to stay in a hotel or a bed and breakfast. But we thought, well, maybe we could get some people to share the room with us. But the conference folks are offering the seafood bunkhouse to conference goers. And it's only $25 a night. And so I was looking at the schedule, and not only do they have it's the number of days of conference, but prior to that there are 2 days. One is a health and safety type training, and another day is like a workshop type thing. And I thought, if I'm going to fly over there and use miles to fly to Petersburg, it's going to be in Petersburg, Alaska, which is just kind of north of us ish, on the island up there, then I would want to stay for the whole thing. And so then I said, let's sign up for the bunkhouse. And so that's what we're going to do. So I signed up. I'm all registered for the Southeast Alaska Farmers Summit. I'm supposed to be doing a little presentation for that. And I think I might be on a little panel talking about, how much income and how much, that sort of thing, talking about finances. And so I'm, that anyway, so I've got to get ready for that. I mean, I know it's a few months out, but gee willikers, I'm such a bad procrastinator. Anyway, so I did that. And then I also redid my forms for the USDA NRCS high tunnel program. I updated those forms. I updated my maps of where the tunnel is going to be. I did a video about that earlier this year where I was trying to kind of figure out like what's the best place. And so I sent those off and got a confirmation that she received those. And so because the deadline is November 18th for the first round, and it does sound like they have funding for it, and I'm doing it on time this year. So that would be for next year, if I were to get a high tunnel. So anyway, that is done. Last minute. Getting that done. And then I do have one project that I have that I need to do that's garden related. Besides, like planning for next season and what seeds am I gonna, get, and where am I gonna grow things and stuff like that. I have a project where I've been wanting to do this, to improve the downstairs so that it can be a cold storage walk-in space. Okay, so I've shown you this, I think in one previous video many months ago. Underneath the house, this is where my cold storage area is gonna go. Oh, let's see, where's the light? There it is. And so this is my project for the winter. I've got to get this all cleaned out. Right now we got a little heater keeping the underside of the house warm. So I've got to get this cleaned out first. Whoa. And then this is going to be made into a cold storage area. Probably a place where it's cool and humid, and then maybe a separate room where I can keep things cool and dryish, like garlic and onions. So unlike my garden projects, which I do pretty much all by myself because Tyler and I don't work well together normally, this will be something where I'm just gonna have him tell me what I should do, because I'm not a construction person and he knows more about that. So I'm just gonna I'll be like, what do I do next? He'll be like, do this, and I'll be like, okay. So that's kind of the plan. Look at all this junk. This stuff has been down here since we moved here. And we didn't have any space upstairs because we were still living in construction, and so we just piled it in here. And a lot of it's probably just a mildew loss. But there's a big door going to the outside. Lots of insulation from when we were building a house. And then, this needs to be taken care of. Anyway, yeah, I'll get started on that. And this is where we're going to be for the next number of months, people, if all goes well. Okay, so in this area outside here, eventually I want this to be an enclosed space where I can have my wash station and my bubbler and stuff like that. I don't know if I'll get to any of that prep work this winter, but that's kind of the plan, so that even during the winter time when I pull up carrots and stuff, I can go down with the heavy sprayer and get those cleaned off, rather than trying to do it in the kitchen with our weak little setup there. So yeah, we'll see if I get any of that started this winter too. I want to start that next week and start getting it cleaned out. So it'll be like watching me, it'll be a video of watching me clean house for starters, and then I'll need to be building some stuff. So anyway, there's that. And then yesterday I went out. I needed to get some leeks for pasta night on Friday, and I needed to get some more carrots for salads. I was running out of those, and so this would be the first time I checked to see if anything had frozen out there in our week of freezing weather. I came out here. I've got to get some leeks and maybe some carrots. And my little dear friend, one of the little babies, is out here. Tyler said he saw Mom and both of them earlier today. But that's the little buddy now, just sitting there in the sawdust, camped out. I'll probably make noise and scare my little dear friend away, but we'll see how that goes. Everything froze out here bad. Yeah. But my leeks look all right. Actually, I'm kind of curious about my parsley too. Let's just take a quick look here. Oh. Just for fun. doesn't look great, but it's not dead. Let's roll this puppy back up again. That's frozen over.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
This ground is frozen like an inch deep. Yeah, they're like, it's like an inch of frozen ground, but they look to be surviving. Do you think that's enough for pasta? I don't know. Let's see if I can loosen these up. One more big one. Okay. That should be enough, right?
Whoa. Hi, buddy.
Okay, there's that. So, I think I want to go over here and get some carrots while it's not pouring down rain.
Oh, did you go somewhere? Did you leave? Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
So far, it looks fine. You know what I ought to do? I should just take the tops off while I'm here. I really need gloves. This is stupid. Okay, I need gloves. I'm getting gloves.
Carrots! Carrots!
I've got my little pile of leeks. And I don't know, maybe almost 10 pounds of carrots. And so that seems to be working pretty darn good. So I know that in previous videos I've talked about upcoming videos, all these videos I'm going to do. You know, I've got like a sourdough bread video that I've been talking about for years. I've got a Jang cedar video that I did clips for all through the summer that I want to put together. I have, you know, like I was talking about for the conference and, you know, income video, and some people have asked me about work hours. So I've kind of, some of those I've got them cobbled together. I also have boat videos that some of them are put together. Some of them they're still like an individual little video clips still. So I will be working on those. I will probably put those out alongside each of my weekly vlogs. Normally with the boat videos, I put them out, you know, beginning of October, beginning of November, beginning of December. But this year I didn't do that. I looked at one of my videos. I'm like, oh, I don't know. It's just not very good. And I wanted to redo it. So I'll probably redo some of the videos, the boat videos, and put those out maybe right before like Thanksgiving and Christmas or something like that. Anyway, there's that. One thing that I might do, I had a request from Planet Vegan saying, how do you make your videos? Since I have such a few number of clips this week, that would be a good time to show how I take my video clips and put them into iMovie and edit them. So if I'm good, I'll get that done this week and show you how I do that. And I think that is everything, folks. Things are going great. And hopefully I'll be downstairs working underneath the house for cold storage next week. See you guys then. Okay, let's get all our things ready.